What if I told you that freestyling in Rocket League wasn't what you thought it was? What if I told you that even most of the content creators and pros within the community don't really know what freestyling is, and in fact, many of them misrepresent it in some form or another? And this is okay, this happens at times, and I have to confess that I have been guilty of this in the past with freestyling. It wasn't until I started having some long conversations with one of our coaches on Gamers Ready, a freestyler known as Jake. This is the same guy who also coached me on some high-level mechanics. I'll put that video at the top as a card if you want to check it out. He's also coached loads of players on how to improve their mechanics and how to actually freestyle as well. In talking with Jake, I've learned that there's a bit of frustration among freestylers about how freestyling is represented and thought of in the community, especially as it pertains to content. It's also been frustrating for many that the term is used so often, and usually it's just used for views. And this is no shot at anyone making freestyling content or making content with freestylers, but I think it's important to address this as freestyling really is a vital aspect of the game and of the community. Freestylers are some of the most influential players, especially when it comes to mechanics and just mechanical creativity. So what exactly is freestyling and what's the problem here? Well, traditionally, freestyling has been going into a casual match, often with a friend or a fellow freestyler, and basically going for creative, crazy shots. That's really it. In that moment, freestylers aren't actually playing the game as it has been traditionally played. It's not about scoring more goals or playing solid defense. It's, not about proper rotations, although there are rotations in freestyling. It's really none of those things. It's just about having fun and being creative. Now, does this mean that anybody can be a freestyler? Like if I jumped in a match with my brother and we tried to pull off crazy shots, are we freestyling? And I would say, and I think that most of the freestyling community would say that yes, anybody can be a freestyler. One's individual skill or ability isn't really what defines them as a freestyler. Like, if you can't do a ceiling shuffle, then you're not a freestyler. I don't think that's the way it should be. It is what you're doing in relation to what you would normally do when you play Rocket League. If it were about individual skill or mechanics, then how could, even say somebody like Jake, for example, who is a freestyler, I'm pretty sure he would admit to me that there's lots of other freestylers who have better mechanics or are maybe more creative than him. But does that make him not a freestyler? Well, no. And this really gets at the heart of what freestyling is. It's not about who you are, it's about what you're doing. So the moment a freestyler steps out of that realm, that sort of low pressure, fun environment of just trying to hit crazy shots, they're really not freestyling anymore. A player trying to win ranked matches while freestyling, say hitting, complex, crazy shots, isn't really freestyling anymore, because ultimately they're trying to win ranked matches. If they were truly freestyling according to the traditional meaning of it, they wouldn't be trying to win, and there wouldn't be any pressure to win or score more goals than the other team. Freestyling really shouldn't be what happens in ranked, and again, this gets at another aspect of modern freestyling, which is competitive clip hitting. Hitting an insane no-flip redirect off the corner wall isn't technically freestyling. It's really just hitting the best shot that you can hit in that moment. There was a time when freestyling was literally spinning in circles behind the ball. Like, that's all it was. And if you've been around for a while, you'll remember this. That literally was all that freestyling was. And that actually now is currently pretty much the only way that pro players air dribble anymore. Well, it's not the only way, but it happens all the time, because it turns out actually spinning your car really helps you with controlling things. So right now when this pro player is spinning at RLCS, are they freestyling? Well, no. I remember back in season 1 of RLCS, people talking about whether Over0 was freestyling because he was spinning on his aerials. That was the first signs of freestyling really creeping into competitive and actually showing itself as a viable way to play. Sure, today an insane corner read no flip looks like a freestyle shot, but that's just because freestylers are the ones who've paved the way for these insane shots. And in the right setting, a shot like that is freestyling, but in RLCS or high-level ranked, it's not freestyling. It's just an amazing shot with a ton of power, and it happens to work. This is part of the reason why so many freestyling groups and clubs and teams and orgs will differentiate between their freestylers and their competitive clip hitters. It's because they know that these technically are two separate things. And I'm not saying that competitive clip hitting or hitting an awesome shot in ranked isn't a thing. It is a thing. Hitting a triple flip reset in ranked is impressive, absolutely. But it worked, you know what I mean? It was the best shot or one of the best shots that you could go for in that moment. And so at that point, it's not really freestyling, it's just an amazing shot. Impressive, yes, but impressive, again, isn't really the heart of freestyling. Creativity is the heart of it. That's why Jazer's classic Freestyling Friday videos are so great, because they really weren't necessarily about scoring the shot every time. Obviously that was a bonus, but it was the shot itself. It's the moment that matters, not the scoreboard.
That would have been crazy.
Now, it's possible that the definition of freestyling has changed or is going to just be ever changing because of what happens in Rocket League, but according to the way things are going at the moment, freestyling will just always be the moves that haven't quite made it into ranked or competitive as meta. So today, a heli flip is freestyling, and let's say you're crazy enough to do it in ranked, so you're freestyling in ranked. But what about 2 years from now when, say, the heli flip is meta, or some other move, let's say just some crazy like triple dash? Does that mean they're freestyling because they're pulling that off? Is a breezy flick freestyling? A breezy flick is just a really good, impressive, highly mechanical flick. It's not freestyling. Again, it is freestyling when you're doing it in the right setting, but in ranked, it's just a really good shot. Today, a double flip reset musty into, say, like multiple backboard resets. Today, that shot's freestyling, but you really can't sit here and say that these moves or any of these moves like are freestyling. Freestyling isn't one move or a set of moves. Freestyling, again, is just being creative. Freestyling is flying out of your own goal with a reset and turning it into a team play just because you want to see if you can do it, not because it's the best tactic to win your match. This is why solo freestyling is, in my opinion, a valid form of freestyling. When a player goes into a casual match attempting to pull off something nobody else has ever done before, you know, from players like Muri, really one of the first solo freestylers, pulling off insane shots and actually creating new shots, to people like Gainer, you know, doing like 10 plus flip resets and managing to score them. The truth is, he can never do those things in ranked, and people used to meme him for that, but they're not getting the point. They're missing the point. That was freestyling. What Gainer was doing was freestyling. I love this twit longer from a freestyler named Faith, who actually talks about one of his shots and basically all the hate he was getting because his shot wasn't hit in ranked, you know. And here's the gist of what he's saying. He says, "I thought I needed to address this. I've been getting countless comments saying, yeah, people can do anything in 300 MMR casual lobbies, and LOL, the defender is asleep, so it doesn't count. I can do this in free play. First things first, I play this game to have fun, not to impress others with the things I can do. If I try to do this in Grand Champ lobby in ones, the Fennec main defenders will just sit on the backboard and power clear my shot and score an open net. Not fun at all if you ask me. Second of all, I'd like to see you even try to do this shot I did in free play. Yes, it's backboard resets, and I know it's very boring for some people. I can understand and respect that. Not everyone likes my slower type of playstyle, but to go out of your way and say that the shot is not impressive at all, I can't understand you there. I've spent hundreds of hours trying to perfect this shot. The shot is impressive, and that is that. Also, in my opinion, a reset to 6 backboard reset shot in casual takes way more skill than a double touch in ranked. Sorry, not sorry." So I completely agree with him here. Freestyling is creativity, and it's pushing the bounds of what's possible in this game mechanically. Because of that, it's had a massive influence on the game, but I think it's important that we remember what it is and keep doing what it actually is supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with the stuff I've talked about, whether it's competitive clip hitting or just trying to win a ranked match while basically only going for insane solo plays. These things are awesome, they're entertaining, and I really like watching these kinds of things, but really at the heart of those things, they really aren't freestyling. Again, I keep coming back to it, but freestyling is what Jazer and others have pioneered. It's going into a non-competitive environment and getting creative with your shots. That's what freestyling is. Well, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. I'm sure there's like a ton of disagreement on this kind of thing. And you know, let me know if you've ever tried freestyling and what you think of it, or how you view freestyling. I think this is something that is a good discussion. It's an important part of the community and of the game, and I think we should respect, you know, lots of the freestylers who've been around for a long time who are all pretty much telling me the same thing, that they're a little frustrated by what's happened with quote-unquote freestyling in the community. But yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.